I will go live. Okay, we are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Shop. I am one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And today we have the wonderful and fantastic Chloe Hale. Okay, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We're
happy to have you.
So happy to have you. Now, Chloe, we love to ask guests, have you seen Top Chef before?
No.
Okay.
This is my first time and I had the time of my life.
Okay.
That's what we like to hear.
We simply love when we accidentally introduce people to their new favorite show. So that rolls. Okay, great. We're truly so curious and excited to hear your thoughts on it. Before we dive in, we have a couple orders of business. First order of business, you guys know this is a food charity-based live stream. Every season, we're raising money for a different food-based charity and doing a fun fundraiser at the end of the season. And this season's no different. I think we got that finale this freaking week.
I literally can't believe it.
It's crazy. We're gonna find out who's the next Top Chef on Thursday.
Wild.
So we'll be covering that finale next week. So stay tuned for little updates.
We have a real juicy guest.
Yum, yum, yum. It's gonna be great. Second order of business, Chloe, is something we didn't tell you, which is just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire, so does every episode of Talk Chef, and it is not cooking related. It is all Chloe food preference based related.
Okay.
But I hate to be a bitch. It is the fastest quick fire in all of Top Chef history. 45 seconds. That's like,
sorry, time out. You hate to be a bitch?
I love to be a bitch.
That's what I thought.
Wow. With that maniacal laugh, absolutely.
I absolutely love to be a bitch. Here, I'm right with my Real Housewives.
Yeah.
I love to be a bitch.
So chaotic. I love this. Okay.
It's 10 questions. And just in case you're like, this sounds stupid, and I've already lost the flow of this episode, there's some prizes at stake. First off, you could win a deed to the Terlato wine vineyard.
Ever heard of it?
Is it from the show?
What a great question.
Well, yes and
yes
no.
And
Thank you
no.
for asking.
So Terlato Wine sponsored seasons like 6 through 10 of Top Chef. So it'd always be like what they were drinking in that like stew room while they're waiting for the judges to deliberate. Or they'll do like a restaurant challenge where there's like a gratuitous shot of it, like for no reason, just as B-roll, and it says the Terlato label, or like Danny Terlato or whatever the hell his name is will come on and be like, my wine vineyard. But like, we don't know where to buy this wine. We've never seen it in a store.
We tried to buy it, we couldn't.
Multiple people say it tastes bad, so we don't know about this wine. And then in an episode in this season, PubMed does so hilariously at dinner. They're like, they show you like the judges getting wine, and she goes, "I'll have a Terlato." Or something, and it's like, oh my god!
I think it's never been said at a restaurant.
Yeah, that was the first time. It's like watching a baby say its first words. That's the first time anyone said, "I'll have a Terlato."
Absolutely.
Insane. So you'll win a deed to that vineyard, which is located in, we don't know, the center of Europe.
Huge stakes. Okay.
It's huge stakes. You'll also win your own suite of broken GE appliances, which is kind of like what you see on the show. We're talking of air fryer that doesn't get up to temperature, an oven that doesn't get up to temperature, a refrigerator door that doesn't close. All of that could be yours, Chloe.
Okay. It sounds
excited.
I'm excited.
It
that
really
is every New York apartment. I'm ready to go, baby.
You could use some more broken appliances.
Yes, upgrades, baby.
I was gonna say, it's really dawning on me how much I talk. Okay.
What?
No, in that whole spiel, I'm like talking for like 7 straight minutes.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant in general. What dawned on me is how sometimes people think that there's going to be a real prize, especially like sometimes Top Chef contestants come on and then they're like, a prize. I think they think we're going to be like $1,000.
Yeah, from me, no one.
Yeah.
From me, an idiot. Amazing. So Chloe, I will start the clock for your 45-second quickfire after Jordan finishes asking question 1.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What would you make if you had to make a dish with cactus?
Tacos. I'm vegan. Just make tacos.
If you had to get a tattoo of a food, what food would it be?
Like nuggets, but in a fun shape.
Do you like to cook?
Yes.
What is your signature dish?
Like stir fry with
beef
chickpeas.
jerky, hot or not?
Slim Jim hot, jerky as a whole not. And I know that's fucked up.
Name 2 types of fish.
Tilapia and salmon.
Do you like being on a boat?
Yes.
How many times have you been on a boat?
At least like 5.
Where should the next season of Top Chef take place?
Maine, like tip top.
How hot are Jordan and Reka?
Absolutely extremely hot.
You did it!
And with my 3 seconds, happy Pride.
Hey, everyone, you heard it here first. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Everyone? Wait.
You heard it here first because it's May. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. We have trademarked, Talk Show has trademarked Pride this year. So
yeah, you'll notice our float co-sponsored by Bank of America, Pride, and Capital One, Pride. And
I love Bank Pride. All banks are gay. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, all banks are gay. Okay, wait. Someone is saying, I just looked up Turlato, and apparently they just promoted Tony Turlato Jr. to Chief of Staff.
Of the United States?
Is that real? Wait, is that real?
You mean Chief of Staff of like the company?
Yeah, wait. Not of the country.
Title?
I've never heard of a Chief of Staff of a company.
Yes, he's
Me
Chief
either.
of Staff of Turlato Wines. Tony Turlato Jr. does sound like a delicious pasta dish. Tony Turlato Jr. also sounds like a serial character. Tony Turlato Jr. sounds like a Dana Carvey impersonation. Tony Turlato Jr. sounds like my future husband.
What does the Chief of Staff of the United States do?
Don't they like on the West Wing, aren't they like the first in command of listen, please don't have me on record saying this.
I'm so sorry. No, I don't know at all. It's because I'm trying to figure out if this is a person that I'm supposed to know or not.
I don't know. I am a little bit illiterate. I don't know the current Chief of Staff, but it's somebody I think that is like the point person for the president. I literally couldn't tell you more. Okay, wait. The Chief of Staff is a political appointee of the president who does not require a Senate confirmation. So this is what Tony Turlato is doing for Turlato Wines.
It is so funny to think that Tony Turlato Jr. is the
United
Chief of
States
Staff of the United States, which is what we thought you meant. That's so funny.
Tony Turlato never has a name rolled off the tongue so easily.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a bunch of little pasta wheels rolling out of your mouth. Tony Turlato Jr.
I love
Tony Turlato Jr.
Wow, the way we disrespect Europe on this show is the way that Europe's been disrespecting everyone else forever. Okay, wait, I have some questions from the quick fire. So you've been on a boat 5 times?
I think that was a quick guess, but I would think, but I'm also counting tiny boats.
Why have you been on boats so many times? Are you a fisherman?
I have cousins.
From Maine?
I vacationed in Maine. So
I see everything.
And occasionally the Cape. But we were more of a Maine family.
Where are you from?
From Massachusetts.
Okay, I see. Okay, so you've been on a boat 5 times, which is like actually kind of huge.
And I'm like really trying to think now, and now I'm scared that I haven't.
That you've never been on a boat?
Yeah, I've like, have I ever even touched the water?
Tell you this, Chloe, but our audience is pretty vigilant, and you're going to be checking into your bathroom.
Yeah, they will be looking into that. And then okay, so that's why since you vacationed in Maine, that's why you think the next season of Top Chef should be there.
Yeah. I think it could get interesting.
I love that. I think there's
Has there been a season?
No.
Okay.
No, never. They've never been, and I think my roommate would be freaking because he's born and raised in Maine and would completely agree with you. But I think there's like a big culinary scene, but there's also a lot of like regionality and then also like a lot of rural cuisine, I'm sure.
Am I allowed to say that they've yet to do a Philadelphia season?
Reka, stop. I've asked you not to say that. No, Philly, Philly feels like the one major city in America that they haven't done yet.
Yeah. What's happening? If anyone knows what's happening, say it.
What did you do to piss them off?
Yeah, it feels pointed. What happened?
It's me. They don't want to run into me because I'm too dangerous for them. I'll eat all their food.
So gross. Yeah, if it was in Philly, Reka, I would drive there.
Yeah. Incredible. Okay. So let's dive on in. We got 2 little eps to cover. Episode 12. There's no quick fire yet again. A strange thing that they keep doing.
We hate it.
Yes. Chloe, for reference, like before this season, there'd be like maybe 1 episode per season called Restaurant Wars that's like a really gigantic challenge for which they wouldn't do a quick fire. So it's pretty unusual to not do one, just for like no reason. So I find this unusual, and I'll say it.
Thank you for the context. Okay.
You're welcome for it's important we have to understand our history here at Top. So for the elimination challenge, inexplicably with no quick fire, they have to cook whatever they catch in the sea. 2 dishes, 2 different preparations. They got to feed 7 people.
Boring.
Let's go off. What do we think of this?
We've seen it. Why do they keep this whole season has been challenges that we have seen before? They have to catch a fish and cook. They have to catch a fish. We've seen that before. But then what's the challenge? Cook fish?
Cook fish.
That's a challenge?
But what if it's big? What if it's small?
I'm over it. I'm done.
Okay. Chloe, what did you think?
Okay. Having heard that, Jordan, I feel better because I was like, maybe I'm being a little judgy. Like I've been to Maine. I've got a fish.
They've been to Maine.
I've got a fish once or twice, but it felt like they were really bad at fishing. Like
they had 2
like
hours
really bad
to fish, and
hearing that they've done it
an hour and a half. It took that long to catch one, and to that I almost say, like, where did the boat stop that there was apparently like no fucking fish? I don't deign to know. I am vegetarian / vegan. I don't know the things, the culture of the sea. I don't know it.
The culture of the sea.
Yeah. But absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed, but then they knew how to cook it, and that's farther than I could go with them.
Same. Here's what they caught. I did write that down. Evelyn caught a catfish. DeMar catches a bull redfish. We're measuring inches. We're getting fish that's like over 35 inches here, guys. We got Nick catches a bull redfish that's 39 inches. I think that's too big. Okay. Everyone basically catches redfish. That seems to be the big ticket item.
Big fish in the South. One of my favorite fish.
Okay. Interesting.
Delicious.
Sound off if you agree. Sound off if you don't.
Yeah. Who likes redfish? It's really big in Louisiana, and it is often served blackened or stuffed with other stuff. So a lot of times you'll get like a redfish dish that's filled with like crab and shrimp, and we'll have some kind of like spicy cream sauce on it.
Okay, yum.
Very good. I know, Rika, this means nothing to you, and I can just see you've gone fully dead in the eyes, but it does taste good.
Good gaga.
Okay. Wait, I have a question, and it's a 2-parter.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite fish? And then do you have a favorite fish dish? Like, is it the same or different?
Wait, okay, favorite fish to eat, right?
Not to play with.
And not to talk to. Just
not to talk to, not to kiss.
Not to ride. Okay, are we talking fish exclusively, not shellfish, not crustaceans?
Oh, I'll count all of it.
Oh my God. Well, everyone that's watched this show knows that I'm an absolute sick in the head monster for shrimp. I'm just an absolute freak for it. And shrimp and grits is one of my top 5 favorite foods, okay. I would say.
Overlap. Okay.
In terms of just fish, like a fish that's not a shellfish, I would say my favorite is either redfish or mahi-mahi.
Ooh. Okay.
Chloe, have you eaten fish before, or have you been vegan forever?
I've had fish, but I don't think I could answer the question I asked.
Sure.
I'm like, I like lobster. I think that would probably be both. But
Yeah.
that's like a kind of a cop-out. It's a pretty easy answer.
No.
Lobster's really nice. I always want to, don't get me wrong, I love lobster, but I always want to like it even more than I do. It's so expensive, but it's not like that different from shrimp. Wait, also I have to fully backtrack. My favorite fish is, hold on. Saying lobster made me think of it because people call it the poor man's lobster. What am I thinking of? What fish is it? Monkfish. Monkfish. They're like the world's ugliest fish. If you have the opportunity, Google monkfish. They're so upsetting, but they taste very similar to lobster, and people call it the poor man's lobster. So monkfish is up there for me too.
That's incredible. They do look freaky.
Sorry, I'm absolutely popping off about this.
No, you have to.
Move on.
No. We'll never move on. Here are the dishes that people did make. So Buddha made fish and chips, fried flounder wrapped in pastry with Vadavon sauce and a potato grabiche. Now, Chloe, we usually do like, does this sound good to us? Does this sound gross? The criteria is entirely your own. It is, does it sound tasty? Does it sound like a Top Chef dish? Whatever you want. It literally couldn't matter less. I think this sounds pretty good. Something wrapped in pastry sounds nice to me. And that's my opinion.
It also sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome.
Same reason. I agree.
Gorgeous. So his other dish was steamed bull redfish with shrimp farce stuffed with ginger scallion and radish.
Shrimp farce?
Am I crazy? It's spelled F-A-R-C-E.
I just don't know what that is.
I don't either. Could it be like kind of funny shrimp that's like doing like oh, I'm over in this store and then I'm going
exactly doing a big silly walk. This says that cooking in a farce is a type of stuffing made with meat or fish.
Okay.
I've never heard of that. I love learning something new. Anybody else? Drop it in the comments if you like learning something new.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Incredible. So are you laughing at shrimp farts? And then I said, I do.
No, I'm laughing at you. Because shrimp fart. Oh, I see. No. I did not even see the chat. I'm just laughing at you. You kind of were just like, oh, yep, great. Anyway.
Awesome. Totally read your girl. Loud and clear.
Made me laugh. Sorry. Okay,
no, it's
I have too much power in this episode because we're talking about fish.
No, it's great. Evelyn made caldo de pescado with poached redfish, chipotle, cilantro oil, and roasted vegetables.
Yum.
That's pretty good.
I'm into it.
And she also made taco al pastor with roasted redfish, pineapple, and avocado salsa. Yum. This looks good. I have to agree that just upon looking at it, I was like, more filling.
Yes.
Let's fill it up. And that is sort of a lifelong problem. Just more filling. Sarah made pickled Gulf snapper with silken tofu, fermented greens, and kraut broth. Not something I would choose off a menu, but certainly to try. Someone got it. I'm very curious about what she's talking about, those textures.
I had silken tofu for dinner, and it feels like I have to say yes.
Okay, otherwise you're sort of betraying your dinner.
Right. And it's like, am I
prepared? You know?
How's what?
How was it prepared? Can we know?
Mine? Yeah. I made a little stir fry and just like soy sauce, a little sesame, veggies, and then just like poured on top. So it was like hot and cold. It was okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, I wish I had like added rice to it, but no time.
We didn't have time. That's the thing.
There's no time.
There's no time.
Sarah also made pickled Gulf snapper with silken tofu, fermented greens and kraut broth. That's the same thing I just fucking said. I'm so sorry. You guys have to excuse me. I took 2 pictures of her one dish, and then I took a second picture of her second dish. Okay. She made a pastrami sandwich, the coolest thing probably of the evening. Smoked red drum with pastrami spice, carrot butter, and Parisian gnocchi. Now that I would fucking order off the menu. That sounds awesome.
Pretty good.
Great.
Okay. Then we get Nick, oh no, who made a fried redfish taco with pickled peppers and smoked tomato crema. It sounds good. It looks like it needs more sauce.
I will always request more sauce, as I would say most people know about me.
Yes. Then he made seared bull redfish cakes with lemon beurre blanc and mushroom ragu. Now it sounds good. We know his crab cakes, his fish cakes didn't form quite well, so that's a bummer.
I do think that's also something that a lot of times they'll dock them for, is making like a fish cake.
Yeah.
Or like a fish, like a fritter or something, because they're a lot of times they'll be like, the fish is so fresh. I think that's stupid, but I don't know. Just throwing that out.
Yes, that's true. They'll be like, you had fresh fish and you chose to chop it up and make it into a cake. Like, why, you stupid idiot?
I think that's stupid though, because good fish it's not like, I get being like, oh, I guess don't put like sashimi in a fritter and fry it maybe. Like, I get that. But I'm like, all these fish are like, you're cooking them anyway.
Sure. Why? But it's so good. Don't cook it.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Yeah. Eat a bunch of raw catfish.
It's so good.
No, don't eat it either. Just
don't eat it. Just look at it. It's so fresh. Why would you eat it? Yeah.
Tasty.
Yes. Damar made a snapper crudo with apples, radish, and a coconut vinaigrette. It sounds all boring to me, but sure.
I think it sounds boring. I think it sounds like something I've seen before, and we're past that at this point.
Yeah.
That combo, by the time you got to the end, it didn't feel good in my mouth.
I think coconut, I love coconut, but I'm like, coconut and apples?
Right. I was like, apples, yes, coconut.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel kind of bad about myself right now. Absolutely. Then Damar made blackened bull redfish with marinated vegetables and an herb salad. That sounded good. A little boring too, but whatever. This is a picture of Sassy. Okay. And these are all pictures of Sassy. I think those have to be all the meals, or I wouldn't have started doing that.
Sassy is also Luke's dog, Chloe, just so you know. So and Luke lives with Reka.
Yeah.
But that's Sassy. She's kind of a,
cool.
Dog of the
This
family.
Is perfect. Kind of lying down in my room.
Oh my god.
Very good.
Oh, what a good butt.
Yeah, she's got good butt.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of nice about her. Awesome. So on top at judges table, we get Sarah and Buddha. Pretty cool to see Sarah on top after kind of having such low confidence when we first meet her, crushing Last Chance Kitchen to get back into the competition, and then just coming back blazing. And then the winner is Sarah, which is awesome. Yes. They told Evelyn she played it safe, which we can see in the next episode. She really takes to heart. On the bottom are Nick and Damar, and our hometown fave from Jackson, Mississippi. Nick gets eliminated.
This was absolutely sick. I think that I'm like, I wish there was another Last Chance Kitchen so we could come back in. I just thought it was so fully unhinged that Nick got sent home over Damar.
Yes.
The way you said when you read Damar's dishes, they sounded boring. Now that I'm hearing them back, I'm like, okay. Like, yes. Like that, I can make fish with like vegetables and herbs.
Yes. And Nick has been like unparalleled this whole season.
Yes.
He has been doing stuff that's so interesting. He's almost never messed up. It was just confusing to me where I'm like, why?
Yes, it was a huge, huge bummer. So that was that episode. What did we think? Did we like? Did we hate? Was it neutral?
I wasn't mad. I was disappointed.
Okay.
Was it like not a quality episode? Was it like the performance?
No.
Because
Reka, you go.
I was gonna say, I just think the challenge, not every challenge can be memorable, but I don't think you need to as Jordan said, like kind of repeat a challenge. I think if you do have to repeat a challenge, at least make it a little informative. Like, I don't feel like I learned anything about the bull redfish.
No.
I think there could be, they're so good at sometimes doing that. Like, here's a little like walkthrough about how to fillet this fish. Here are the parts of it. So you learn a little something to just differentiate it. I kind of have like a little encyclopedia of Top Chef challenges in my brain. And these are the ones that are harder to remember because there's nothing like that feels Houston about it.
Yeah.
Like it just blends in. So that's why it's not my favorite, but you guys weigh in.
Yeah, I'm just like, there's so much to learn about like fishing in that area. And I just feel like they didn't infuse it with any of that. So I was kind of like, what was the point? The challenge was then to cook a piece of fish. Yeah, they're professional chefs.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah. I also, am I remembering correctly that after they caught all the fish, they also had the option to just buy whatever fish they needed?
They could have bought actually. They had only like $200. So if you didn't catch anything, that would like add up. But it was kind of like false stakes because they're gonna serve fish. But
yeah.
And I would be like those, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know how much fish one person should eat. I'm like, those fish were huge. I bet you would be like, have half of mine, like whatever. Cool. So yeah, that episode was whatever. Now we go to an episode I really liked, spoiler alert. Episode 13, season 19. Quick fire. We are making a dish featuring carne seca. I found myself taking like fucking notes during this. I was so interested. So it's like, we start in this cafe called El Charro in Tucson. We're in Tucson now. We're in Tamale.
Mecca of the food world.
Think about it. Some chefs get to go to Rome during COVID, and some chefs go to Tucson.
Not that there's anything wrong with Tucson. I'm sure the food scene is great. I'm sure Tucson is awesome, but it is very funny to be like, most of the time they're like, we're going to Indonesia, and now they're going to Tucson.
from Texas.
They just want to. Is that one state, two states max?
It's almost like if they went to like Austin or something. It's just like it's a little funny. But I did learn a lot. We were in El Charro Cafe, this cafe that is like apparently the first Mexican restaurant in the entire country. I was just absolutely, every piece of information was fascinating. They make carne seca, like dried meat, by hanging it over the building, kind of.
We love.
Oh, interesting.
It was like a Cirque du Soleil performer made of meat.
Yeah, the most beautiful kind.
I guess they're all made of meat technically, but you guys know.
In a way, made of dry.
Everybody knows what I mean.
Yeah, I thought that was so, I like felt like this is exactly what I mean. Like I felt like I learned something at each juncture of this episode. So they had to make a dish featuring the carne seca. I even learned how to like prepare it. Like you hydrate it with all these like herbs and things. I thought that was so cool.
I was very into it.
Yes. So here are the dishes that we got. Okay. Sarah made carne seca gravy over polenta with a soft egg, morels, and blackberry salsa.
Hello.
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Carrie from Colorado, who had very unusual food combinations. She'd make like savory French toast with like jam and jalapeno or like a bunch of stuff that you don't like, and blueberries or something. Yeah. And everyone would be like, this tastes crazy and good. That's what Sarah reminds me of. So
I like it.
Yeah. Damar made grilled avocado with carne seca, vinaigrette, fried tortillas, and grilled corn.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, grilled avocado with carne seca, vinaigrette, fried tortillas, and grilled corn. And from the picture, it looks like there is also like extra carne seca on it, in case that helps.
I thought this was an extremely bizarre dish. I think grilling a whole avocado and just like slapping it on your plate, to me, feels very not unprofessional, but just like very lackluster. I was like, this is what we're doing? Like, I don't know, that just seemed so weird to me.
Well, I'll tell you what it reminded me of. It reminds me of grilled potato, where I'm like, an avocado is so fatty and big. If you were grilling slices of it and putting like lemon and lime and salt or whatever, the char has like a reasonable amount of surface area. But to do the whole half, I'm like, well, just that top part is charred. The rest of it is just a plain avocado.
Absolutely.
It almost looked like health food, like when people are like, you don't need to eat rice, you can just put a whole head of broccoli under it or whatever. You're like, okay, well, that tastes worse, right? There was no like foundation for the dish, I guess.
Well, that was the foundation, and that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Exactly. Or you know what? That's like the vegan option, and I'm not saying. And you'd be like, oh, they got like a delicious tortilla that had lard in it, and I got like a grilled half avocado.
Yeah.
That sucks. Speaking of tortillas, Buddha made an upside down tostada with carne seca, guajillo, and chipotle and queso. I don't know why it's upside down. It looks okay. I don't get why it's upside down.
I thought it was going to be pretty stupid when he described it. Like, not the dish. I thought the dish would taste good, but it seemed like a very weird chef concept of like, yeah, I'm going to make it upside down. And you're like, what? Then you can't see any of it because there's...
And you can't really eat it because you have to just keep dipping it as opposed to like kind of breaking it with like, I don't know.
But it did look nice when they broke into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Famously, you can't see anything on my phone, so it's fine.
Yeah, Rika does this every single episode, tries to show us all kinds of stuff.
And some people in the audience are like, do you want help with graphics? I've got help. Evelyn made creamy grits with guajillo, carne seca, and chayote relish. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that... I'm not like a relish person, but I think it could work.
Yeah.
I think I would like it.
What's your condiment of choice, Chloe?
Well, probably just like chipotle mayo, kind of basic, or like ketchup, honestly.
That's nothing wrong with either of those. Basic means good to most people.
Yeah.
Wow.
What chipotle mayo do you buy?
So what is it? It's like the vegan-ace kind, but like
Follow Your Heart.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay, that's what I was going to recommend, because I was going to say we just tasted the Follow Your Heart chipotle vegan mayo at work, and it was so good.
It's so good.
I love that. Okay, great. So then we get on the bottom. Let me pull it up. On the bottom, we get Buddha and Damar. On top, we get Sarah and Evelyn. And the winner is Sarah. She's fucking on fire.
Wild.
Good for her. And also, what a fucking nice thing for the woman, the person who worked at El Chara, one of the owners, I guess, saying to both Sarah and Evelyn, like, I'm going to take that technique, or like, I need to use that recipe. I'm like, oh my God, I'm nutting for that.
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. So then our elimination challenge is so cool, just so educational. We go to this garden and they get to learn about the chiltepin pepper, which is apparently the only pepper native to the United States. So fucking cool.
I can't believe I've never had it. I'm like, Rachel, we got to drive somewhere and get it.
I think I've had it.
What? Without me? Who would do that?
Sorry. Unbelievable. And we learn about like cacti and different like cacti fruits and stuff. I thought this fucking ruled. This is exactly what I mean, where there's like touchstones where you kind of can remember the challenge and also you learn. I would love to learn. Drop it in the chat if you still love to learn. Maybe you've changed your mind since before. Yeah, pop it in there. I loved this. I thought it was so cool. And yeah, one of the dishes has to be sweet and one has to be savory. I think that's kind of a cool little interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, I was very into the dessert.
Oh yes, I was so excited because normally on this show you'll see it happen less and less throughout the seasons. But like if they're like you have to make a dessert, everyone in their talking heads are like I don't eat dessert, or like I'd rather walk into traffic than make a dessert. They're like, can I microwave a banana and is that dessert?
Yeah. They're like, for dessert, I did a lamb dish.
Yeah, exactly. But I roasted it with maple. Yeah, or something. Just like, oh my God, these people are fucking demented. I'm more of a savory guy. You can be both. Come on, it's 2022. Come on. Okay, so Buddha made truly a stunning dish. He used like little leaf cutouts for stuff. Mission Garden Tom Yum soup with turnip wrapped dumplings calamari noodles and prawns.
I was screaming.
So fucking good. Every word, it's like, you know, when people post a tweet and they're like, each sentence or every single thing in this video that happened, I could not predict or whatever. Each moment in that like description is like, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yes. Yep.
1,000 times yes.
I would do a lot to be able to taste that.
Oh my
like
God.
A lot.
Honestly, I mean, even just to have tom yum soup right now, regular tom yum
Incredible.
soup.
Tom yum soup is one of the best foods in the entire world.
Yes. Okay, Sarah, for her savory course, made lamb with chiltepine vinaigrette, grape salad, and smoked yogurt. Yes! That sounds good.
Interesting.
This is not the first time they've done a smoked yogurt on here, and I'm like, what? I mean, I guess it tastes like smoke, but I'm like,
Jordan, are you about to point out that the other yogurt queen of Topshop is also named Sarah from season 18?
I didn't even think about that.
If you guys think there's a correlation between Sarah and yogurt, put it in the chat. If it's direct or indirect correlation. If you are more Sarah, do you have more yogurt? Or if you are more Sarah, do you less yogurt? Pop it in the chat.
I think I like totally missed that it was yogurt, or my brain like refused to accept that, because it truly is like shaking me to my core all over again.
That's
just like
beautiful.
What?
That's beautiful.
How?
It's also very funny to be like, my brain refused to accept that
yogurt. Okay, so relationship between Chloe and yogurt invert. More Chloe, less yogurt. For sure. Incredible. Evelyn, for her savory course, made a nopal relleno with shrimp puree, raw nopales, and marigold. I have to try a nopal relleno. That sounds so fucking good.
It was so beautiful the way it was done.
And I thought very smart of her to be like, these ingredients are not new to me. And I do think there would probably be an unfair expectation of her to do something like smarter with it, but she crushed it.
Yeah.
Damar, for his savory course, made pork shoulder glazed with chiltepine barbecue sauce, pickles with chiltepine, grilled nopales, and a red bean puree. Because his red beans got too overcooked, so he pivoted to making a puree. This sounds good to me. I can imagine a world in which it doesn't feature the chiltepine as much. And it seemed like the thing people were gawking at was that the sauce had prickly pear in it, which to that I say, is this your chiltepine dish or your cactus dish?
Yeah. Yes.
Any other thoughts on that?
Kind of boring. I'm like, whatever. It just didn't really do it for me in any way.
I get you. Not Nick. Oh my God. Damar is going through something. He's just, last episode where Nick eliminated, he's being a little boring. This episode he's being a little boring. Come on.
Yeah.
What's
barbecue?
And no.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Barbecue. Really, Damar? Barbecue. Tony would never.
Yeah, Tony would never. Okay, Sarah, for her sweet course, made a cactus tart with saguaro flour ice cream and cactus caramel. This, I say, yes, give it to me.
Cactus caramel, hello.
I have to try a cactus tart. Put that whole thing over.
Where?
Up my nose.
Okay.
Buddha's sweet course was cactus with cream. It was a cactus cake, cactus seed ice cream, and prickly pear snow. I mean, yeah, I gotta try it for sure. And
as
also,
bougie as it is, sorry, go what?
You go ahead.
I was just saying, as bougie as it is, I love a snow in a dessert.
Oh, sure.
It's so like the combination of like creamy with like frozen ice, very good.
Now, Chloe, a quick sidebar. Who's
that?
Who the fuck is that?
This is Jonathan. He is playing fetch. That's what you see happening here.
Okay.
So what you'll see, and maybe in a few seconds, is he'll come back with his little toy.
Oh.
And he said those dishes sounded delicious.
Whoa.
He's very into the ice cream. The sweet
Oh, because cats like milk. Okay, Jonan. Okay.
Okay. It's very funny because the chat fully turned to cat. Like while
The
we were
cat.
all the comments are like cat. Oh, cat alert. There's a cat in the background.
I got so scared to open the chat because I was like, what if my sound goes off? What if it's echoing? I can't look. I'm too scared.
Nice. No. Well, if anyone has questions for Chloe, we'll field them to them. No prob. Okay, Damar for his sweet course made a prickly pear cake glazed with prickly pear topped with buttermilk cheese, saguaro, and frozen mango. This looked like I should eat it right now.
Yes, it looked cool. I was into it.
I'm very into it.
The cheese threw me. I've been vegan for a minute, so when you the cheese, I like whoa, and then back for that mango.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Evelyn's sweet course with a sour orange and sweet lime curd with saguaro pod meringue, prickly pear granita, basil flowers, and quince. Now, I would eat this. This is not my style of dessert, which is kind of just like things that resemble sauces with some chunks. But I'm absolutely going to eat this and I'll have a great time. Okay, awesome. We love that. I thought these were all so fun and I feel like I learned. And that's why I come to Top Chef ultimately, to learn. Because just like in Act 1 of this episode, I still like to learn.
Did people drop in the chat if they like to learn?
I think they did the first time, but no one, I don't know if people don't really take me seriously when I say drop it in the chat, but just be sure to drop it in the chat if you still like to learn. We're kind of trying not to keep people that don't like to learn.
Yeah. Do you think we're saying drop in the chat for our own mental health? We're saying drop it in the chat because we want you to drop it in the chat.
We have a census person here. Drop it in the chat.
Yeah, we have a census person. She's right over here. She's extremely unprofessional.
Yeah, she got her whole ding dong out.
Nude on my couch. Oh, she's literally barking at me, Angel.
Excuse. Okay, wait.
Oh,
Sean likes to learn, an animal lover likes to learn. Jason also likes to learn. Elaine, after much consideration, likes to learn. Interesting. Breaking news. Christine likes to learn.
Thank God.
Sweet.
I really do like to know stuff about people.
That's awesome.
I like when they drop it in the chat.
That's nice. Bill has, Bill. I saw Ben and Hillard and made Bill. Ben has kind of taken a turn, I'll say for the worst, and hates to learn now.
I think that's okay too, though, to be honest with you. I think it's fine to go through ups and downs.
Yeah, actually, and thank you for teaching me that because I like to learn. So that is cool. Amy likes to learn too. We're gonna keep this bit alive.
Yeah. I almost wonder if you hate to learn, maybe you're learning even more. Cause like if you're like, if that's front of mind, right? The universe puts those things in front of you, front of mind. You're like, I hate learning. And then it's like learning opportunity. Maybe they've learned more than any of us.
Yes, and you're pushing so much against, instead of like, if you were just learning, you might be able to like take it in and let it wash over you. But if you're pushing against the learning, you're really having to confront it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would argue, Ben, now Bill, I will argue maybe you learned that you don't like to learn in this episode. So you're kind of always still learning. And Brennan eats teeth.
Gotcha.
Okay, great. So for the judges table, on the top, kind of everybody. On the bottom, kind of nobody. The winner was Evelyn and eliminated was Damar. Bummer,
but it was
time. Unfortunately. Gorgeous. So I love Evelyn being in the finale and Buddha being in the finale. Sarah is a surprise, like from left field, from Last Chance Kitchen. I'm excited for that. She seems to be on fucking fire. I'm loving the stuff she's made in the last 2 episodes.
I feel kind of like a teenager when their parent gets remarried, because like Sarah does seem cool, but at the same time I'm like, okay, but Buddha and Evelyn are my parents. I'm like, who are you?
And now there's a third.
You're just some woman that showed up. You know what I mean? And even though she's cool, I'm still kind of like, they're my parents, so I'm attached.
You're their third, not Sarah.
I'm their third. I want to have a threesome with Evelyn and Buddha.
My parents.
My parents. Are you guys getting the analogy I'm making?
Absolutely.
That's to everyone.
Absolutely. Gorgeous. So yeah, what did we think of this episode? I mean, I've already tipped my hand.
I was very into it.
Yeah.
I took absolutely no notes this episode, which means I truly was very into it. I was just like,
that's awesome. Oh my God, that's incredible.
It was great.
I love that. Yeah, I think that it really is just like, Reka, you really hit the nail on the head with this, and I never really thought about it, but it is
I literally thought you were saying, and I've never thought that before, but
I have never once thought you were right or had a good idea ever in my life. But this is a huge moment for our multi-year
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Jordan. You can say
Happy Pride to me. I have finally.
Wait a minute. It's AAPI month, so. Oh.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Reka, our months are kissing.
Oh.
Our months are horny for each other.
I love that. That's beautiful. Just like us. No, I was going to say you hit the nail on the head, and I've never realized this. It's about the learning. I think in the episodes when I don't learn anything new, I feel bored.
Yeah, or like when there's no locational tie, like even if it's like, did you know Maine is good for fishing? Like, yes, I knew that. But like, tell me like the type of fish that are good. Like, give me a little bit to hold on to. So, because like to me, as a non-chef, some of this stuff all blends in. If you're like, welcome to a garden, we grow carrots and potatoes. You're like, cool.
Okay.
So it's cool to be like, here's a crazy fact, the only native pepper in the United States. And here's like shit particular to this area. I think that rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That 100%, like the regional dish. I want to know what it is. What are you eating over here? What are you guys up to?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I want to know what every state or city is up to. There's so much I know nothing about ever. And that's why, despite what Ben wants, I will learn. Yes. Finally, I'm standing up to my bully.
Yeah. Wait, Chloe, so I want to know, what did you think about Top Chef as a whole? Would you continue watching? Who do you think is going to win?
Okay. Is the finale, what's like the vibe? What usually happens? Like, what are the challenges?
The vibe is usually like create the best 3-course or 4-course meal of your life. No restriction. Sometimes what's funny is there will be a restriction. It'll be like, you can only use the heat of the sun and no limes. Go, or whatever. That happened in season, I think 14. But generally, it's like a choose your own menu, whatever you like situation.
Yeah, that one was so wild. It was the one Reka's talking about.
Or that was maybe the semifinals actually, because Sheldon got eliminated then.
I guess whatever it was
pretty intense. Yeah, so it's usually something like that. And it'll be for the fanciest of fancy men, usually at the judges' table.
I want to say Sarah.
Yeah.
But my gut's telling me it's going to be Evelyn.
Why do you like Sarah so much?
I don't know. I just like teared up when she won. And I think I just like latched on to that from the last week's episode. Yeah. I think she really is not great, doesn't seem to be great under pressure, and seems really just not confident often. And I'm like, you know what? I relate to this. I like you.
I mean, if Sarah wins, she will be technically. Joe Flam also came back from Last Chance Kitchen in season 15.
We don't acknowledge him though.
He what?
I said we don't acknowledge him though.
We don't acknowledge, but also he came back much later in the game. Like Sarah had to beat, I think, a lot more people than Joe did. She was eliminated much earlier. So she had to go through, I think she might be, her and Kristen Kish might be around tied. Actually, no, I think Sarah will beat her for the most amount of Last Chance Kitchen wins, preempting a Top Chef win if she wins.
Yeah. And that's hard because you really have to win. It's a 2-person head-on-head versus the first couple weeks of Top Chef. You can't kind of
be as shitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sniffing Evelyn out as the winner here, but I don't know. It would be awesome, I think, too, because she's a local, she's from Texas, which is cool. And we always love when someone from the hometown wins. But honestly, I'd be happy with anybody. I think Buddha is like a little sweet pea. I would love him to win. His freaky ass ideas. I'm so excited. When he said, I will say, maybe not the only, maybe I am the only one. He said, there's so much in my arsenal I haven't even shown. It did, to me, sound like he said asshole. And I can't be the only one that thought that.
Break up. Well, either way, good for him, honestly. That's what I'll say about
either
that.
Either way, an interesting finale.
Either way, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But yeah, I would be happy with any of them. I think, honestly, I'm curious to know who the guest judges will be in the finale, because I think Buddha is chefier.
Yes.
Than the other two. I think he's like much more conceptual for the most part, versus like Evelyn and Sarah are making more food that feels like
it's a little more like, I don't, this word I feel like has weird connotations, and I don't mean any of them, like rustic.
Yeah, it just like feels like food I would want to eat versus like with
Buddha feels like fine dining.
Yes, which and I would still want to eat because I think he does it very well. But in general, he kind of sits in a category of food that doesn't often seem appealing to me. He makes it appealing, which is awesome. But I think depending on who the judges for the finale will be very interesting, because I think it depends on how fine dining they are.
Do you have any guesses for the judge? Any guesses for the judge, or like who you want it to be?
I want it to be me, but I think I'm busy.
And honestly, why wouldn't you be? It's a Thursday?
What, is because I'm a vegetarian and no one wants to cook me food? I bet it's some, like, there'll be like one local Tucson person that is, well known in Tucson, and then it'll be like Eric Repair.
Yeah.
Like some fancy Frenchman kind of thing.
Got it.
Yes, yeah, someone fancy in French, because we already had Daniel Boulud, right?
Yeah.
Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Something.
So not him, probably. Maybe Melissa King. They brought her back last season for the finale.
Oh wait, Elaine says Eric Repair is the guest. Well, cool. Listen. Yes, it was in the preview, Elaine. Did you ever keep in mind we're stupid?
We don't watch the preview.
We don't watch the show.
These are all just really good guesses. We don't watch the show.
Remember that. We don't watch the show. We are stupid.
I have not watching the show is deeply funny to me.
Incredible. Well, awesome. Chloe, if people want to hear more from you, see any of your work, are there shows you want to plug, any social media stuff? We've got your Twitter and Instagram in the video description.
Yeah. No, those are the good spots. Happy Pride. Find me on there.
Are you doing shows coming up soon, or your podcast? Don't make me plug you.
Okay, we have a podcast called Hot Goss with Trash Comedy that is on pause right now, but like go listen to old episodes.
Okay.
We also don't have our next show date, but when we do, I'll plug it, baby.
Okay, well, let me know when you have it.
Yes.
Send it to me and I can post it on our Talk Chef thing, because y'all are super, super, super funny. I've done your podcast before and it was such a joy.
Incredible. Well, Chloe, I would let you go, but there's a Bravo producer. What is it?
Rika, I've told you so many times, stop being so mean to him.
What the fuck do you want, you stupid idiot? You stink. Oh, okay. Whoa, I didn't know that. Well, Chloe, this dumb asshole in my room is saying that you are top chef.
Thank you so much.
No
Yeah,
problem.
a lot of people don't know that there's
What
actually
a dumb asshole.
There's a lot of people don't know this. There's actually 2 ways to become a top chef. One of them is to win the reality cooking competition show Top Chef on Bravo. And the other way is to be a guest on this reality live stream YouTube show for charity hosted by me and Reka.
Well, thank you so much. I'm honored.
Guess what?
This, quite frankly, is the harder route, but I'm proud I made it.
That's exactly. Put that word out. This is the harder test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The quick fire to start out that way. Are you?
Episode 12 didn't even have a quick fire. They just had to find fish from the store.
Fish. Easy.
Get out of here. At the store.
Yeah.
Well, Chloe, thank you so much for being on the show. We're so happy to have had you. And guys, tune in next week for the finale and whatever special surprises we've got to show you. Goodbye.
Bye.